medical school is the oldest establishment of higher education in Sheffield, with the surgeon who overran training medical students, presumably as early as 1811. However, Overran was never officially registered as a lecturer, making his medical school virtually unofficial.
He did, though, have an anatomy museum in his home on the junction between Church and Orchard Street, where he conducted dissections to an audience of the general public as well as medical students. There was, however, one major problem with the anatomy museum. Acquiring dissection subjects was notoriously difficult, and in order to obtain a sufficient number of them, several sources describe Overend as encouraging his students to look out for upcoming burials and dig up the corpses at night.
Overend knew that he could not provide the facilities needed to improve the medical training he offered. This led him to support a campaign organized by Dr. Arnold Knight to found a proper medical school, which is called the Sheffield Medical Institution.
His son, Wilson Overend, also set up a medical school in the city to rival his father's, though many people in the general population did not think of this as a progression. Wilson's efforts were finally crushed when his school was destroyed in a riot in 1835. A crowd broke into the building where they found skeletons and partially dissected bodies, all necessary components of a medical school. However, this was only a few years after Burke and Hare had been found guilty of committing murder to supply Edinburgh surgeons with dissection corpses, and the crowd burnt the building to the ground.
It's a generally accepted fact that in today's university, lecturers must earn a living. But in the past, doctors had to pay £20 a year for the privilege of teaching. In return, lecturers did receive dissection rights, but it was not enough to stop a constant resignation of lecturers.
The situation was so bad for 30 years that botany, an essential part of pharmacology, was taught by an amateur. He was a bank manager who lectured 3 times a week at 8 o'clock in the morning in order to get to the bank for 9.
In 1882, the chemistry lecturer resigned, and it was realized that, rather than run classes from inadequate premises, students could actually study chemistry at the new Firth College.
The two institutions agreed to cooperate, and in 1888 a new medical building opened opposite the college. From this point on, student numbers increased and teaching improved.
The way had also been paved for a future institution where the Firth College, the medical school and the technical school would develop as one and become the departments we know today. In the next episode, we'll see how they combine in a new building at Western Bank.